What's up guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another unboxing showcase review, and this is a figure that I've never had before, or a line that I never picked up before. This is the Bandai Game Dimensions lineup. They pretty much started with the Tekken series, so I'm actually really excited to try this one out. Now I know they had figures, I think of Wave 1, that had Kazuya and Heihachi. This new wave has Jin and so far King from what I've looked up. But I was very fascinated with Jin, not only because I am a big Tekken fan as well as I am a fan of Jin, but I was fascinated with with not seeing any joints in the legs, and we're going to get to that. This is why I was just like, wait, what's going on? Now, I'm not familiar with game dimensions in which their articulation is and everything, so we're going to try it out. We're just definitely going to try it out. It is what it is, what we're going to get. So let's see what Game Dimensions has to offer. So this is the Tekken 8 Jin version, so that's pretty cool. I've been enjoying Tekken 8 very much so. Box though, look at that. He has his back turned to us. They packaged him like that. That's pretty different. This is very different, but you can see that we get a couple accessories in here. We have on the back mostly just video game artwork, and then looks like a digital render of Jin right here. Did came damaged when I did buy it, so unfortunately that is. So there's King, and there's apparently 2 unlocks, meaning 2 other characters that is supposedly going to come around. So I'm very curious to see who we're going to get next. Hopefully some female characters as well. But you can see here, look at this, we can even see packaging recycling right there. So there is the box artwork, stuff like that. So you guys know that I like to show you what it's like to open the box. So here we go. I already cut the tape, and of course, look at me having some struggles right now, but let's see what we got going on. We have our plastic tray, and the cardboard's gonna come out with it, so that's perfectly fine. We actually get a background right here, of the ring, of the Tekken ring, the arena ring right there. So that's pretty cool. If you play Tekken 8, it's very familiar to you. So we do have a cover for this to keep everything in place. There we go. So there it is. I knew that would fall out anyway, but there is everything in the packaging. Let's take it out and take a closer look. All right, guys, there's everything out of the packaging. We have Jim. Looks pretty good for what we see so far. Just right out of the box. Just looks pretty good. We'll play around with it, see what we got going on. But we are going to mess with the accessories first, so let's get to that. So here's the first accessory. Basically a stand that kind of shows off this right there, round 2. I think Wave 1 had round 1, as well as the ready sign. So I don't know what to make of this. I really don't. I think it's a neat idea to have here in terms of, you know, like photography and stuff for round 2. But it's, if they were going to do it, I would have preferred to actually do more with the paint.
Round 2. Fight.
Instead of just giving us this like one colored plastic piece, I like paint it up, make it look good. But that is what you get. We have a stand for a sign. So there's one accessory. We get a power effect here, which is actually really nice. I'm glad to see that we get some sort of effects, because throughout the Tekken video game, you know that these power effects are showcased very heavily. So very cool to see this. We do have a set of hands right here, which is basically an open palm hand. It's, at least, you know what? I'm glad that they're painted nicely. They got the somewhat silver. Looks more purplish a little bit to me, but it is supposedly like a silver. I think the red is blended in too much, because you can tell that it's a red plastic overlay on the hands, and then they tried to apply the silver, and then the silver just kind of blended in. So it's unfortunate, but you know what? At least there's an attempt to make that distinction in the gloves, so that's pretty good. But you can see, you know, there's sculpt in the gloves where the fingers are. There is some sculpt where there's fingernails, so not too bad. It looks pretty good. All right, let's go over this paint and sculpt of the figure. It's very simple, but it gets the job done for what costume, or what can I say, his outfit that this player is going to be. For Jin, I mean, let's just start from top to bottom, head to toe. There is his head sculpt so far. Head sculpt is fine, but the paint is not. I don't like how his eyes were done. It's a good take on, you know, how Jin's expressions are. So it's not bad, but I think the way it's painted on there, it just doesn't look right. It just has too much white, I think. Way too much, and it looks like, of course, an animated type look, and it's okay, it's not bad, but that's what you get for it. Hair sculpt is great. I love the bangs, how they're coming down like that, and of course the sculpts that shows his hair like so, just like his father. The musculature throughout his torso is very well done. Looks really good. Even in the arms, even in the back as well, not too bad. We do have these straps on his bicep, which is just all colored red. If they did a little bit more, of course, we would expect some more paint for the buckles. And then, of course, his forearms has this armor on it, which isn't bad. They do sculpt it, which is nice, but it's only two-tone in regards to the gray and the red, so that's all we're gonna get there. And of course, this time we have fists on his hand that comes already on the figure itself. Same application with the silver on his gloves. But if there was some more detail here, the way it's done, of course, in the video game, that would have been nice. More paint, I should say. That would have been even better. Now here is, I think, the best part of it, which is unbelievable. So his whole attire, his pants attire, is a very soft plastic. It's a thin plastic. It's very, very soft. But you can feel the joints in the legs there. But this is an overlay. This is a complete overlay. This is all like a print, which this print is amazing to showcase the design of his pants, but it's all a soft plastic. Even here, even the I guess I'll call it the underwear part of it. This is all an overlay, and you can feel the structure of the figure on the inside, so you can see that right there. You can see here how it kind of overlays in it, and I'm very, very impressed with the way this is done. And look how soft this is. You see that? I mean, it's a really neat idea. I like that. You know how much of an improvement that would be if many other companies would utilize this, I don't even know what to call it, utilize this format of making their figures of like clothing. It's just a plastic clothing. It's all printed, but it's soft enough to, you know, do something. But there are some things that people won't like, especially the way it bends. The way it bends looks a little bit weird, but I mean, look, that's a step in somewhat the right direction in regards to, you know, not using soft goods but using plastics. Yeah, I like it. It looks really good. Really good. Never expected anything like this at all. Never did. But that's the way it is. It's so crazy to see something like this. And there's actually, you know, you can see it. There's sculpted in what am I stress lines in the clothing. It's all sculpted in like that, the way it was made, and then it's just applied over the actual plastic of the leg. From what I can tell, look, you see how I can just bend this up? It's actually crazy to do that, but it is just a gray leg, so there's no skin color tone on the inside of it, so it's not a big deal. I'm just saying that's just the way it is. But you can feel on the inside, this is a double jointed knee on there. And then we have his feet, no peg holes on there, but there is some sculpt going on, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad at all. But yeah, there you go. There's your paint sculpt for this guy. All right, let's go over articulation. And I think when I say this, the articulation is okay. I just don't like the way it was executed. So it's, and I think you guys have been seeing it when I was playing with it during the paint and sculpt part of it. So starting off with the head. The head, of course, can move left and right. Cannot move up at all. There's no way. There's no give here. Luckily, the neck is a separate articulation, so as you can see, you can look down. It's in regards to the way the neck can move. Even if I weren't able to move the neck, there's not much he's going to look down. He'll be looking down like that. But with the neck like that, you can do so. The problem is that the neck has so much gap. Look at that. Even when I'm just trying to maneuver him to look straight, there's this gap right in the front. So if I kind of do that a bit, that's the best. That's where it's gonna look better. There is a different design here. This is like a ball peg shoulder. So there's gap in there. You can see that. But the ball peg shoulder allows for this movement in his arms. I think I would have preferred, you know, a butterfly joint because of the way he moves in the game. It's much it would have been a better choice to have butterfly joints, but I mean, that's, yeah, see, that's where I'm hindered. You can't put his arms together, so that's a drawback. It's still okay, but I would have preferred the butterfly joints on there. He has an upper bicep. He has double jointed elbow, so it's beyond, a little bit beyond the 90 degree. He has a ball peg at the wrist, so you can maneuver that all around. So that's not bad either. He has the diaphragm, not diaphragm, I'm sorry. He has an ab crunch, which goes all the way back and then forward so far. But then here we go. I don't know what kind of joint they wanted to do with this and just break the sculpt. So it's like they made a ball peg waist, right? Which is great. I love a ball peg waist, but why didn't you curve it out? You just made a straight cut at the waist. So now there's this gappage like that completely ruins the look of the sculpt when you're maneuvering him around or when you're going to pose him. So that's unfortunately a huge downer for me. I hate that. I really do. This ball waist is perfect. I look at the range in it. That's amazing that you can get that movement in there, but you just break up the sculpt even from the back like so. So that's a huge bummer in regards to just doing a straight cut. That's not cool. I don't like that at all. He's got drop down hips, which is pretty cool. It's very useful, especially for, doing those kicks. He's got double jointed knees, of course. And then, is there an upper thigh? No, there's no upper thigh, but you can see the articulation there. So you can rotate the leg in and out very easily. The legs are done very nicely, so that's not bad at all. And then he's got a ball peg at the ankle. So there's a lot of movement that you can maneuver here and there for his ankle. So articulation wise, yeah, there's some goods and some bads. There's unfortunately more bads than goods. And for the power effect accessory, you just kind of slide this in and find like a point where it can hold in place. So you can use it on either hand when you're using the fist accessories. So it's not bad. It actually looks really good showcasing that. So that's not bad at all. I do like that. Okay, so how tall is he? He is pretty much 6.5 inches, maybe around his hair, maybe 6 3/4. So I'll say 6.5. And to just start off with comparisons, here is our McFarlane Toys. Got to see how much the 7-inch figures stand up to him. And some Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, a Mezco 112 Collective Holiday Gomez, and we have some Mythic Legions. Here's the Valiant Knight. And here we have some Storm Collectibles. I do have Chun-Li and I have Blue Mary. And here I have an SH Figure Arts. I have Sagat. And lastly, I have Jada Toys Street Fighter. I have Ryu and Chun-Li. And I'm very surprised that they come up short than Jin. Then again, maybe Jin is taller. I have no idea. It's a possibility. We've had a Street Fighter cross Tekken video game come out, so there is that chance. It's just, I know with this Jin figure, it is taller than the Jada. So, I don't know. If I could blend it in, I may do that. And that was my whole point. I wanted to see if I can blend in and try to do a Street Fighter cross Tekken, because that did happen before. And it got me excited when I saw the game dimensions. So I wanted to try it out, and I'm glad I did. So this is pretty cool. I'm glad I did it. All right, guys, there you have it. There is my unboxing showcase review on the Bandai Game Dimensions Tekken 8 Jin action figure. This is still a pretty cool figure. I think they've done some really cool things, especially with the legs. This whole plastic overlay for the legs is remarkable. It's actually very, very cool. It's very similar to what they did with Ryu's gi. How soft it is, how malleable it is. It's a very neat idea, especially with the print on it. I think they're onto something there, and I think it's really cool that they did something like that. Unfortunately, it does have some negatives on my part, in my opinion, with the articulation. If it only did a couple things where there's not a lot of gaps, I would have appreciated it more, regardless of the lack of paint as well. There is some lack of paint that you could definitely help it more. But this is like a $25 figure. We do have a very cool thing with the legs going on, and I think that is something to really talk about. But let me know what you guys think. I want to hear your thoughts on this figure. Is it something that you may want to pick up? Are you a Tekken fan to begin with? But let me know in the comments. So make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. But thank you all so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you soon, and I hope to see you on the next hunt.